It's a topic called data hiding. Now, before I start data hiding, I like to quickly kind of recap the whole topic of DOS attacks and DDoS attacks. So we today started off by discussing what exactly is a DOS attack. We discussed the types of different DOS attacks that are popular on the internet. Everything from ping flooding, ping of death, to SYN flooding, to Smurf attacks, teardrop attacks. Then we actually saw a live demonstration of how to use a packet generation software to execute a DOS attack. Then we saw a live demonstration of how to use Metasploit to execute a SYN flooding attack, and how to use Metasploit to execute application-specific DOS attacks. And then we moved on to DDoS attacks, where we discussed what exactly is a distributed denial of service attack or a DDoS attack, and how to actually execute it. We saw a variety of different sophisticated ways, like the anonymous hacker group, the LOIC software, the botnet technique, the zombie technique, and then eventually we discussed some simple solutions that you can implement to protect your network and your website against DOS attacks and DDoS attacks. And since we still have around 23 minutes left, let me go ahead and start a brand new topic of data hiding. See, all of us have confidential data on our network, on our system, and we want to actually protect that data so that if a criminal manages to hack into our system or a network, at least our data remains protected. We don't want to lose our data. We don't want the criminal to be able to steal our data. So there's a very interesting software which I like to recommend to all of you. The name of the software is TrueCrypt. TrueCrypt is an on-the-fly file and disk encryption tool. It essentially allows you to encrypt and password protect specific files on your computer, specific folders on your computer, or your entire hard drive as well. So TrueCrypt is free, and it basically allows you to encrypt, like I said, specific files, specific folders, or your entire hard drive. So download it today. Once you've encrypted your data using TrueCrypt, it's almost impossible. See, there's nothing 100% secure, but it is close to 100% security in terms of even if somebody has access to your machine, they will not be able to access data that has been stored inside the TrueCrypt partition of your hard drive. Another way in which a lot of times criminals or terrorists like to hide data is something known as alternate data streams. Alternate data streams, or ADS. So what exactly is ADS? Alternate data streams, or ADS, is actually a feature in Windows NTFS. NTFS means New Technology File Stream. So Windows NTFS is basically the technology via which Windows stores files or data on their machine. And so like I said, ADS is a feature in Windows NTFS that contains metadata for locating files based on the author of the file or based on the title of that file. Interestingly, adding additional metadata to a file's ADS will not increase its size or change its functionality. This makes data stored in the ADS of a file completely hidden. Hence, it's a great place for criminals to hide malicious commands or text or data or files like Trojans, keyloggers, and spyware. So let me give you an example of how to hide some text inside the ADS of another text file. And for this, I'm going to use MS-DOS. So first of all, let us create a new file. I'm going to try to go to the desktop and then create a file. Alright. So the way I'm going to create a new file is type the command echo followed by, this is a test file for AFCH. And let me save it in a file called afch.txt. Alright. So let me go to the desktop now and show you that file. So at the bottom there is this file called AFCH, and when I open it, it says this is a test file for AFCH. This is a test file for AFCH. Alright? So that's how you normally create a regular notepad file. There's nothing special about it. But let me now hide something inside the ADS of this text file. So I'm going to now type the command echo bomb parliament on 15th August. And I'm going to save it inside the afc8.txt file, but I'll use the colon and then type secret.txt. So now what has happened is that I have written some text in the ADS of this AFCH file. When I open up this AFCH file, what does it say? This is a test file for AFCH. So nothing is showing up over here. So inside this text file, can anybody see the secret message which is bomb parliament on 15th August? The answer is no. You can't really see any secret message hidden inside this particular file, because the data is actually hidden inside the ADS of the file. So let me just show you the commands once so that all of you can copy it down. So first I typed echo. This is a test file for AFCH, and I used the greater than sign followed by test.txt. So that helped me create the test.txt or afc.txt file. Next, I typed echo. This is the hidden data that you can't see, where I typed echo bomb parliament on 15th August, greater than sign, followed by test.txt, followed by colon, followed by secret.txt. So let us now reveal the hidden data. How do you actually see the hidden data? So if I type the command in Notepad, or sorry, in MS-DOS, I am typing the command notepad afch.txt. Let's see what happens. So it has displayed the notepad file, which is, this is a test file for AFCH. But let me now reveal the ADS of this file. So I type notepad afc.txt colon secret.txt and I press enter. Let us see what happens. It says bomb parliament on 15th August. As simple as that. So I created a text file called afc.txt. Inside the ADS of that file, I hid the secret message, which is bomb parliament on 15th August. And if you just open the text file, nothing shows up. So if I go to desktop and open the text file, it just says there's a test file for AFCH. But inside the ADS of this file, I have managed to hide something else. That is what ADS is all about, where inside the ADS or inside the alternate data stream, you can actually hide some kind of secret message that other people will not be able to see. So that's a very simple example of data hiding or ADS manipulation, and that is how you can actually view the hidden data as well. So how do you actually detect whether a particular file that you have received contains something hidden inside the ADS or not? So there is this very interesting software called Alternate Stream View. Alternate Stream View, which is available as a download from nearsoft.net. Nearsoft.net. So from nearsoft.net you can download this software Alternate Stream View, which allows you to detect whether there's something hidden inside the ADS of a file or not. As simple as that. Let me take things to the next level. Let me share with you a real life example related to the September 11th attacks. So after the September 11th attacks, the US government intercepted a few encrypted emails that are sent by the Al-Qaeda or the Osama bin Laden men. When the US government opened those emails, the only thing that they found was photographs like these. Photographs of movie stars, celebrities, actors, actresses, and so on. So the government was very confused. as to why is the Al-Qaeda sending photos to each other. So after a lot of investigation, so all the emails that they had found, they were completely blank, completely empty. So there was nothing written in the emails. But all the emails that the Al-Qaeda was sending to each other contained photographs like these attached to them. So the government was extremely confused as to what is going on. And they started doing a lot of investigation. And after a lot of investigation, what was found out was that this is a classic example of a very interesting technique known as steganography. Steganography is a technique that allows a criminal to take a photograph like this, ordinary looking photograph, but inside the photograph, it is possible to hide some other message, a secret file, or some secret message. And the name of the technique is steganography, and the name of the software, which is available as a free download on the internet, which all of you can download after this presentation, after this lecture gets over, is called S-Tools. And S-Tools is a software that allows you to take all the secrets that you have, that you don't want anybody to ever find out about, and hide them inside your favorite photographs, audio files, video files, and so on. So let me open up S-Tools for all of you and give a demonstration of S-Tools to everybody. Now for this demonstration, imagine for a moment that I am a terrorist. And I am planning a major terrorist attack in New Delhi. And in relation to that attack, I want to send the following message to my terrorist colleague. And the message that I like to share with my terrorist colleague is the following. Bomb the Parliament building on 15th August at 9 a.m. Actually, you know what? 9 a.m. is very early for me to wake up. So let's do it at 11 a.m. because it has to be convenient for me as well. Now, if I were to send this message as a regular email, now anybody who intercepts the email will obviously know what the message means, which is bomb the Parliament building on 15th August at 11 a.m. And since I am a terrorist, I don't want anybody to find out what the message means. So instead what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take this secret text file and hide it inside an appropriate photograph. And the photograph that I like to use for today's demonstration is the former American president, George W. Bush's smiling photograph. So the question is, how can you take a terrorism-related message, which is a text message, and hide it inside this George W. Bush's smiling photograph? Now, to be able to do that, all you need is the S-Tools software. So let me quickly open up S-Tools on my computer. And this is what S-Tools looks like. It's just a, let me quickly open it. It's just a gray color screen. And once I've opened up S-Tools, the first step is to drag the photograph inside which I want to hide the data. So if you notice, I'm going to drag this George W. Bush photograph onto this particular software. So George Bush is now inside the software. The next step is I need to drag the secret file that I want to hide inside the photograph. So I drag the secret file onto this photograph, and as soon as I let go of the mouse button, it is going to ask me to enter a password. So I can enter any password of my choice, re-enter that password, click on OK, and within a few seconds, if all of you look at the screen, the software has actually created an identical copy of the photograph. Can anybody watching this lecture detect or identify any differences between the two photographs? Are there any differences between the two photographs? The human eye cannot differentiate between the two pictures at all. They're exactly the same. The only difference between the two photographs is the fact that this photograph on the left does not contain any hidden data. So let me go ahead and close that photograph. While this photograph on the right contains some data hidden inside it. So I can right click on that photograph, save it with any file name of my choice, attach it to an email, send that email to my terrorist colleague, if anybody intercepts the email, they'll only see the smiling photograph of George Bush, and they will think that it's pretty, it's not very suspicious. The email will be completely blank, completely empty. If anybody intercepts the email, they only see the smiling photograph of George Bush. But when my terrorist colleague receives this email, all that he or she needs to do is drag this photograph back onto this S-Tool software, right-click on it, click on this reveal button. Reveal button. And as soon as I click on reveal, the software will ask me to enter the same password that I'd used earlier. So make sure that you know the password that is used at the sender's computer. So you type in that password, re-enter that password, click on OK, and within a few seconds, if all of you look at the screen, the secret file is now ready to be revealed. So let me right-click on that secret file, save it on the desktop, and open it for all of you. So I'm saving it on the desktop. And when I go to the desktop, there is indeed a secret file called secret.txt. And when I open that secret file, it says bomb the Parliament building on 15th August at 11 a.m. As simple as that. So what is really scary about this demonstration is the fact that this is the level of sophistication of communication channels for the terrorists way back in 2001. So you can imagine how complex, how advanced the communication channels have today become when we are in 2014. So unfortunately, the bad guys, the terrorists, are always 1 or 2 steps ahead of the good guys as far as cyber security is concerned. So steganography is slowly becoming, or it's actually already become, one of the most preferred mediums of communications for terrorists. I'd like to quickly show you one more technique of steganography. We probably have time for only one more technique or one more software. So there is a software called Hermetic. So we have seen S-Tools earlier. Another software that I like to recommend to all of you is Hermetic. Hermetic is a software that allows you to hide a file inside a photograph. It's just like S-Tools. The size of the file will be the same. The look of the photograph will be the same. So by just looking at the photograph, you can't make a difference. By looking at the size, also you can't really usually make out a difference. Even if the file size changes, the fact of the matter is that the police will never know the original file size. So how does it, even if the file size changes a bit, how does it even matter? You have, not only can you actually hide files or data inside photographs, you have a software like WB Stego 4 that allows you to hide a secret file or a secret message inside HTML or PDF files as well. So steganography is not only possible with photographs, videos, and music files, it is also possible with HTML and PDF files. So on that note, we are pretty much out of time. We have hardly 3-4 minutes left. So I like to quickly kind of recap. So today's lecture we started by discussing DOS attacks, and we saw a live demonstration of a DOS attack. We also discussed what DDoS attacks are all about. And then since we had around 25 minutes left, I started a brand new topic of steganography. So we have seen a couple of ways in which you can hide data inside files. First of all, we saw how you could just use TrueCrypt to encrypt a file or a folder or your entire hard drive. Then we saw how to use alternate data streams or the ADS of a text file to hide another text file. And then we saw how you can use steganography to hide files or messages inside photographs, audio files, or video files. And then we also saw that there are tools available to perform steganography on HTML files and PDF files as well. So unfortunately, we are pretty much out of time in today's lecture. We have hardly a couple of more minutes left. So I'll not want to start the next topic because I won't be able to finish it. Next time we will continue from where we left. We'll continue this steganography topic and finish it. I'll start with a very interesting example or a case study which we'll together solve, and then we'll move on to phishing attacks. How you can actually use phishing attacks to hack into somebody else's Hotmail account, Yahoo account, Gmail account, Facebook account, and so on. So the next lecture is going to be extremely exciting. Do not miss it at all under any circumstances. Until the next time, this is Ankit Fadia signing off.